Chapter 66, Chapter 29. Kalia's mansion is located in the middle of the forest, in an academic area. She chose that place because she used to coexist with nature, but she made her house a little bit modern. Currently, the situation inside her mansion is very messy. Lots of cracks in the walls of the room. The floor of the mansion was badly damaged. Kalia, who was conscious and began to return, felt pain all over her body. Are you awake, Princess Kalia? Sylvie spoke sarcastically from within the space prison, while confining her. How long have I been unconscious? And what is this? Kalia is trying to get up from her lying position, but when she was about to get up, she was holding a black rope covered her body. You were unconscious for half an hour, and that's a gift for you from him, Sylvie answered nonchalantly. A gift? I remember. Kalia remembers what Zeal had done to her. Her face started to turn red to her pointy ears, not to mention that he had seen her naked body. She immediately shook her head to get rid of the thoughts. Oh yeah, are you now in love with your disciple? Then maybe he is the most worthy man for you on this continent, Sylvie said, half serious and half joking. Enough. I have to change my clothing immediately and have someone repair my mansion. How long will you be there? Kalia was worried that the magic Zeal used would lock Sylvie up forever. I don't know. I've tried various ways, but this chain and prison don't get scratches at all. It feels itching when I restrained by change, made of lightning. Sylvie resigned herself to her fate. She just shrugged his shoulders and sat back in the cage. After asking to let you go. Why isn't there a single wound on my body? Should my body be full of cuts? Kalia is confused to see her body, which has no wounds. She kept checking, but didn't find a single wound on her body. Don't you remember, before he gave the rope to cover your body, he healed you first, and reminded you not to interfere in his affairs again? Sylvie repeats what Zeal said before she left. Kalia was silent for a moment after hearing what she said. Somehow she felt lost after hearing that she had to stay away from him. Sylvie noticed that Kalia had been acting strange since she woke up. No, I had to meet them to let you go. Kalia immediately changed her clothing and brought Sylvie, who was restrained, out of her mansion. Girl in love. Sylvie took a deep breath while shaking her head. Zeal was left Kalia's mansion and is currently walking towards the restaurant where he had called Clara and ate yesterday. When he arrived at the restaurant, he wasn't just Clara and Princess Harris who were there, but also everyone who ate with them yesterday, plus a girl with blood-red hair. Ken, come here. I'll save the place for you. Clara was the first to see Zeal, stood up from her seat, waving her hand towards him. Zeal immediately approached her. He sat in an empty chair next to Clara. Thank you, my lady. Are you okay? Then Clara looked at Zeal from head to toe to check how he was. I'm fine. Luckily I was brought by a teacher to treat the room. Zeal can't possibly say that he was taken away to Kalia's house. If they knew, they would suspect him. While Zeal and Clara were talking, a girl's voice interrupted them. Brother, don't you have something to say? Princess Freya bowed her older brother, who was sitting next to her. Noisy. Prince Fritz was annoyed with his sister's attitude. Look at his brother, who remained stubborn. Princess Freya intended to scold him again, but his voice of someone speaking for was hearing by them. Is it okay if I sit next to us? That girl was a duke's daughter might be fine, but is the butler allowed to sit here too? Princess Rihanna spoke as if not interested in their conversation. Zil knew that if he was still sitting with the princess and the nobles at one table, it would be bad for his master Clara. Lady, I'd rather sit at another table. You can sit here. With Princess Harriet, Zil moved from there and sat not far from their table. But when Clara wanted to stop him, Zil was already sitting at another table. You can only be sad to see that. Her purpose is going to the restaurant was to chat with him. We can chat with him later. Princess Harris tried to calm her down. Yes, Clara only answered briefly. Princess Rihanna, aren't you overthinking? In academia, everyone's status is the same. Princess Freya is angry, but Princess Rihanna's treatment of Zeal. Princess Rihanna just shrugged her shoulders and didn't answer it at all. She drank the tea in her cup while waiting for her food to come. You, Princess Freya is getting angry because she feels like being ignored. When she is about to scream at Princess Rihanna, her brother Prince Fred stopped her. Freya, enough. He spoke sternly to his sister. Freya could only puff her cheeks at her brother's attitude. When she was about to get up and move to Zeal's table, Princess Aisha grabbed her hand and pulled her back to her seat. Princess Aisha looked at her and shook her head. If Princess Freya sat together at Zeal's table, then Prince Fritz will be even angrier. When the atmosphere at the table became heavier, another guest came to the restaurant. Excuse me, a beautiful young woman with long emerald hair, her green and clear crystal-like eyes looked around the restaurant room. She is Kalia Vanitia. Currently she is not in her teacher uniform. She wore a white sleeveless one-piece dress. The white and smooth skin of her hands were exposed in contrast to the cold expression she gave before. She currently looked like a innocent girl. Even Princess Fritz was stunned to see her. Kalia's beauty is currently suppressing all the princesses in the restaurant. Hello, teacher. Prince Fritz tried to beat her when he thought Kalia was approaching their table, but Kalia just passed their table and sat at Zeal's place. What? Everyone at the table was shocked. They didn't expect that Kalia, who just came suddenly, sat together with Zeal. Prince Fritz could only grit his teeth as he clenched his fist as hard as he could. Meanwhile, Clara and Princess Freya's face darkened. Meanwhile, the princesses were shocked by Kalia's actions. Zeal was currently sitting opposite her, was silent and didn't even glance at her. Kalia had been silent ever since she sat down and activated the barrier, so that others couldn't hear what they were talking about. They're funny. After a long silence, Zeal decided to speak first. So what do you think? What do you want from me, teacher? Zeal asked without seeing her face. But before Kalia answered, Princess Freya came and sat at the table. She seemed to have run away from Princess Aisha. Excuse me, I like to join at this table. She had even sat down without waiting for both of them to agree. Princess Freya and Curie currently talking about an important matter with him. Kalia said coldly to Princess Freya. She was annoyed by her impolite attitude. Don't mind her. Just answer what I asked earlier. Zeal saw that there would be a debate immediately stopped her. Kalia glanced at Princess Freya before starting to speak. Is it okay to say it with her here? Kalia still hesitated to say it, because what he was about to say was confidential. Doesn't matter, just say so or You can go, Zeal said flatly without being bothered. Alright, I'll get straight to the point. Who is Sylvie right now? Kalia's tone turned serious. Sylvie? What is it? Princess Freya suddenly entered the conversation, but Zeal and Kalia ignored it. Princess Freya could only puff out her cheeks. Are you currently giving me orders, teacher? Zeal already knew that Kalia would come to him, but he didn't expect it to be so fast. It seems that the great spirit of wind is very important to him. That's not it. I'm asking you for help, and I'm sorry for attacking you first. Kalia lowered her head to Zeal. Did he attack you? Princess Freya propped her chin with her hands on the table while listening to her conversation. As usual, they ignored her. I will release her, but on one condition. Zeal had things he wanted to do before he reincarnated. What is it? As long as it's within my power, I do it for you. Kalia unhesitatingly promised Zeal. You have to teach me spiritism. It was something that Zeal had previously wanted to learn, as in his past. Maybe learn to use spiritism will help break Zeal's seal. What? Kalia and Princess Freya shouted at the same time. Then they looked at each other and simultaneously turned their eyes to Zeal. Kalia and Princess Freya didn't expect that Zeal would ask for that. I tell you that spiritism can only be used by elves. I've never heard that humans can use it. Kalia cleared her throat and started to explain about spiritism. I know that all you need to do is teach me. Zeal nodded slightly at Kalia's words. Alright then. After we finish eating, you should immediately, Sylvie. Kalia is still hesitant to teach Zeal spiritism. Okay. Zeal answered it curtly. May I come with you guys? Princess Freya raised her hand and proposed her participation. Whatever. Zeal and Kalia answered nonchalantly at the same time. Princess Freya was dumbfounded at their words. Sorry. Kalia feels embarrassed after realizing she said the same thing as him. Soon their food arrived. Kalia, who previously intended to find Zeal to open Sylvie's cage, ended up eating together with him. She was seen smiling a little when she saw Zeal eating. Then it did not escape Princess Freya's eyes. I let Clara, because she is current master of Zeal, but this female elf suddenly appeared out of nowhere. I have to get rid of her before it's too late. Princess Freya muttered in her heart, watching Zeal while annoying her food silly. She smiled evilly without Zeal and Clara noticing. Imagine that.